Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Lucy. I will be your facilitator this evening. Welcome to the College Admissions Collaborative Highlighting Engineering and Technology Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is also being recorded and will be available to you within about a week or so at strivescan.com/CACHET. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to New York University Tandon School of Engineering.
Thank you, Lucy. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for participating in today's event. My name is Debbie Joachim. I am the Assistant Director of Enrollment Management. I would just like to give a brief description of NYU Tandon School of Engineering, which, as everyone knows, is the engineering school associated with New York University. We are located in Brooklyn. We have approximately 6,323 students on campus, which comprise of about 2,700 undergrad students and about 3,500 grad students. 40% of those students are women, which is something we are very proud of. We are trying to make up our 50% so we could move past our male folk. We offer 15 undergrad majors spread out in 11 academic departments on campus. I wouldn't read out everything for you about our 15 different majors. If you need specific information on that, you can also email me, or you can check our website at NYU, at NYU.edu, New York University. So without further ado, let me just continue. We have 2 residence halls in the Brooklyn campus, which house our engineering students. However, students will have the option to transfer to different residence halls after the first semester. At the engineering school, students have the option to join any of our 40 student clubs, which represent a variety of interests at Tandon. And if you come to Tandon, you enrolled in our school, and there is a club that you would like to build, or something you would love to reinstate, we definitely will give you the opportunity to do that as well. Tandon has also the opportunity for students to join and get involved in our vertical integrated projects. These projects are long-term, large-scale projects that bring together education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. These VIP projects are run with students and the faculty together. Our first-year students can get involved in these projects, and you can remain in these projects for the 4 years if so interested. With that being said, I will go on to our admissions process. NYU Tandon School of Engineering follows the common application process, which is located in the common application. When you go to New York University, and if you're interested in any one of our 11 schools, you just highlight that, you click on it, and that's where you're going to provide your information. In that case, that being said, if you're interested in the engineering school, you will click on NYU Tandon, and it will give you all the information to apply. There you can pick your major. You do not have to pick a major for the first year of applying to Tandon. You can come in as a non-decided, and then after the first year or even the second year, you have the option to decide which major you would like to pursue going forward. If for some reason you start a major and you feel that you need to transfer, it is pretty easy to transfer from one school to the next in an NYU. The admission process is done, as I said, through the common application. Our GPA scores requirements starts from about 3.6. That does not mean that if your GPA scores is less than 3.6, or it is a 3.0, that you're not going to be accepted into NYU. We look for a holistic student, somebody that will be a good fit for NYU. So do not let that GPA score affect how you apply or if you apply to Tandon. As of now, our SATs is optional for our first year or transfer students at present. We would normally require SAT score of around 1350 to about 1530. It can go down or it can go higher. It all depends on what the admissions counselors are looking for when they are reading your application. Transfer students, for any student that is interested in transferring to NYU, our score that we're looking for is 3.5. As I said prior, it doesn't mean that if your score is less that you're not going to be a good fit in order to transfer to NYU. Reading or writing score will be around 680 to 760. Our math score is around 700 to 800. A little bit of the application process deadline. All our application deadline is for January 1st. So if you know that you're interested in applying to NYU, my advice to you is by January 1st to make sure that your application is in. I like to let students know that if you are interested in NYU Tandon and you know that's the school that you want to go to, please feel free to apply early decision. Just remember that early decision is a binding decision. And if you are accepted into NYU, you will, have to accept. We do, if for some reason financially you are unable to apply, to facilitate those requirements that we request for early decision, we will absolutely request any if you want to opt out of that. But I always like to tell students apply regular decision, because that way you have other options just in case you don't get the amount of financial aid or scholarships that you get and you want to make a choice for a different school. So that's something you should definitely keep in mind when you are applying to NYU. NYU University on the whole we like to consider ourselves a holistic school, in that we don't just look at applications or based on your academics. We evaluate the entire student, both academically, socially, and their achievements, which is something that is very important to us. So don't let any, SAT scores or AP scores or, scores decide whether you are going to apply. And we have an application fee of $80 just in case you can't afford it. Please let us know. We will absolutely waive that for you. A little bit of our NYU programs, our attendance summer programs at NYU, which is something we do every summer. Offers a variety of summer programs. These programs are run in the months of July and August. Summer programs and summer and academic year programs are for local students only, and this provides unique opportunities for in-depth STEM studies. But we do have STEM programs that are available to all students and all schools. We also provide residency for in case you are not local and you want to stay on campus during the summer months to do a summer course. We do have summer residence halls as well. Some of our summer programs are credits. You can achieve credits for that. Some of them are free. It all depends on your location and what you study. At NYU Tandon, we have 4 incubators. Let's just say that you come into Tandon, you are a student at Tandon, and you want to invent something. We will provide the resources for you. We will provide the finances for you, and you can sit in any one of our 4 locations and develop with the help of other faculty members and other students in case you are interested in doing that sort of entrepreneurship. And that's something we really, are proud of. NYU Tandon also does 2 career sessions every year. We host most of the companies, all the big companies in America, IBM, Chase, Facebook, Google, all of them, they come to the campus and they speak to the students. Some students actually get internships right then and there, or they will take your resumes and get back to you. So it's it gives you the opportunity so that when you have to go out and apply for job, it will give you a little bit of experience as to what you need to do in order to apply for a job. Um, NYU Tandon is run, we have something called the Makerspace and the Maker Garage. The Makerspace is a really cool spot. If you're interested in working in a Makerspace, all students have the opportunity to use the Makerspace. If you are interested in the Makerspace, you can get a job there. What the kids do, we have 3D printers that are really high tech. We do, we, they develop, they use plants in order, without soil and without air and without water. And they try to develop all these things and make a garage. Does all these big things. We have a concrete canoe. We also do, the kids also build a self-driving car, which they take all over the country for competitions and things. So it's really a good experience at NYU Tandon. And just to give you a little bit of insight as to NYU Tandon, I don't want you to feel that because you're at NYU in the engineering school and we are located in Brooklyn, the main campus is located in the city. We have a free shuttle that runs from the main campus to the Brooklyn campus daily. So let's just say that you are in the city or you are in Brooklyn and you have a class and you don't want to ride public transportation. Absolutely. As long as your schedule permit, you can absolutely get on, and it's free of charge to students. So you can just get on. And let's just say you're in the city and you want to go get something in NYU's cafeteria to get something to eat, just show them your ID. If you want to use the library, you have the same facilities that you have as if you are a student at NYU in the main campus. It's just that you are in the engineering school and our main campus is in the city. We like to stress that if you decide to stay in housing, it is guaranteed for 4 years. It is not mandatory that you stay in housing, but if you are interested in housing for 4 years, that's always an option. Sometimes it could be a little, financially difficult for some kids because of NYU. And I know housing is kind of, pretty expensive at NYU. So that's something to keep in mind. What we do ask though is if you are choosing housing and you would like to stay in the city, your first year, if your major is in Brooklyn, we ask that you stay for the first year in Brooklyn. After that, if you want to transfer for one of our 12 residence halls in the city, absolutely, that's not a problem. Also, we just like to stress that NYU has three degree granting schools: New York, Abu Dhabi, and Shanghai. So as I said in the beginning, when you're applying, just make sure that you're applying to the correct school. Um, NYU sends the most students abroad than any other college, private institution in America. So let's just say you come in and you say you want to go, we have 12 different schools all over the world. You want to go to France and study for semester, all you need to do is just go to your professor, go to your academic advisor, and explain to them that this is what you would like to do, and they will guide you in the right direction as to how you go about doing that. And if you want to do it for another semester, that's perfectly well. You just let them know what your plans are. And as long as your grades are good, because that's something they do take into consideration, how you fare in school, and if you're keeping up your grades, then absolutely. It's a really nice thing to be able to travel. A lot of our students, whether it be engineer students um, or students in any one of our other 11 schools located in the city, a lot of our students do take that opportunity to travel um, all over the world, just for semester. Um, if you are in residence halls whilst you're traveling, that remains the same. It's just that you're not going to be there for that semester. You wouldn't have to pay for that. But when you come back, you will have your housing. We just ask that you maintain the grades in order to, be able to qualify for that. Um, at NYU Tandon, it's a smaller school because it's just an engineering school, as I said, compared to our main campus, which we have about maybe 51,000 kids. And at Tandon, we only have about 6,000 kids on campus. It's a very close-knit environment. Our class size is maybe 20 to 22 kids per class size. It all depends on the major. Computer science, computer engineering is our top majors, followed by maybe mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. And as I said, we have 15 different majors. It's your choice where you want to study, what you want to study. And as I said before, you can absolutely change if for some reason you decide, I don't want to be a mechanical engineer anymore, but I want to go to one of our schools, like maybe Stern or Steinhardt or the College of Arts and Science. Absolutely, it's an easy transition. As I said, you just have to maintain your grades, go to your advisor and explain this to them, and they will, assist you. NYU does do, we do K-12 STEM studies with kids in all different schools, especially around the area. We bring the kids in on campus, and they actually sit in a classroom, and they will, see what the students are doing, and if they are interested, they can apply to one of our summer programs. We do have tours. Let's just say that you are in Brooklyn or you are in New York at any point in time, and you would like to visit one of our campuses. All you need to do right now is, because of the pandemic, we are virtual, which is something you can also do virtually. But post-pandemic, we will go back. At NYU Tandon, we have tours every week on a Friday from 3 to 4 in the Brooklyn campus. The main campus, we have 5 tours per day in the city. So if you are at any point in time in New York or you're local, please feel free to join one of our tours when we go back to in-person tours. Right now, we're doing a hybrid. We have some kids are studying at home, some kids are in school, but come the fall, everybody's going to be going back in-person classes. Anybody has any questions whilst I'm speaking, please feel free to, put it in the chat and I will answer you. With that being said, I will just leave my, if anybody wants to contact me regarding any information that I have provided or would like to get more information on NYU Tandon School of Engineering, please feel free to email me. I would leave my email address in the chat, or you can get it from Lucy or, from Streiscan, and they will be able to provide that information for you, and I will answer you, as soon as possible. And I think, Lucy, that's what I have up to now. I mean, I've given them all the information that I need for, if anybody has any questions about majors or anything of that nature with the School of Engineering, I would be more
Yeah, absolutely. If any attendees do have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A feature. If you don't have any questions, then that does conclude the session. So we'll wait a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's just wait a while. Okay. So absolutely, I can absolutely give you that information. The question that Tariq is asking, what are some of the majors that we offer? So undergraduate majors, we have applied physics, we have business and technology management, we have mathematics, computer science, computer engineer, electrical engineering, physics and math, science and technology studies, civil engineering, and biomolecular science. Those are some of the engineering majors that we do offer. So the question is, can we transfer to the main campus for all of our classes after the first year? Now, when you say transfer to the main campus, are you talking about leaving the engineering school and going to one of our other schools? Because if you are doing an engineer major at NYU Tandon, your main place of study would be in Brooklyn. If you're doing a minor along with that, and it's something that qualifies in the main campus, you can absolutely do a minor in the main campus. But the only way you will transfer is if you're giving up an engineering major and moving to one of our schools like Stern or Steinhardt or College of Arts and Science. That's that's the only way you would actually be able to move over to the main campus for all of your classes after the first year. And do you require a fourth year of AP US history course during high school? Now, that all depends on the major. If the major is something that we require the AP US course for, then yes. Offhand, I can't tell you if or which exactly are the majors that require, but if it's the major that you are thinking of studying, yes. If not, then no. Would it be possible to double major in computer science and political science? Now, computer science, let me just explain something to you. We have the College of Arts and Science, and we have the which also has computer science, and we have the computer science, which is also done at the engineering school. The way that I like to explain it is computer science at the engineering school is where the kids go into the labs and they have hands-on experiences with a professor and with faculty. The College of Arts and Science, which also has a computer science, is a more theoretical thing. You sit down in a classroom and the professor would speak to you, and that's a different type of course for computer science. So if you're doing that there and you want to study computer science, then the College of Arts and Science would be, and that's the school you would be applying to. But if you are studying at the engineering school in Brooklyn, then you have to do computer science, and you would not be able to major in a political science at Tandon. So. So is there a way to do both STEM and business studies? Now, that could be the same answer that I just give about science, computer science and political science. Now, science, technology, engineering, and math it's what we more or less carry at the engineering school at NYU. If you want to do business studies, and you could probably minor in that, but as I said, your STEM classes has to be in something that will allow you to do a minor in business studies. Not all of our engineering classes or engineering courses allow you to do a minor at one of our other schools. So it all depends on what you're studying. If that would, if something that you can transition to do a business study. So you will have, we can definitely find that out for you, but you will have to let us know what your career path is. It is going to be civil engineering, it's going to be mechanical engineering, and then that's something. What I can suggest you do with this question is that the number that I can give to you is a number that you can actually speak to admissions counselor, because they are the ones that is reading your application process. So when they're looking at it, the number that I'm going to put in the chat, you can absolutely call that number, and they're gonna transfer you to an admissions counselor. Okay, and they will be able to answer your question in more detail than I will.
Does anyone have any further questions?
Lucy, I will type my email address in there, so that anybody wants to email me if they have any further questions, that they can, my email address.
Okay, well then, if there are no final questions, then I guess we can wrap the session up if that's okay with you, Debbie.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, that's, as I said before, if anybody has any questions, my email address is there, and please feel free to call that number and they will absolutely be able to help you.
Excellent.
Thank
Okay,
you,
well,
Lucy.
you're welcome, of course. And thank you everybody else for joining for this session. When you do close out of this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other sessions that have happened this evening at strivescan.com/CACHET. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a wonderful evening.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.